Act like we never left. What's going on? What's going on? Happy Hump Day. Happy Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. Franchise J. Claxton and Dr. CaSay Vaughn. What's up?
Hey, what's going on?
You got the girls out today.
Yep, all summer long. That's going to be like this all summer long. This is what the people is getting.
Let me see.
Let me see.
Let me see.
You're sitting right there.
I can't see.
You can adjust yourself. All summer long. This is what you're getting.
Okay. Let me see.
As you should.
Okay. All right. I was just checking. Let me straighten you up a little bit. All right. Make sure you're good. How you feeling?
I feel good.
You should be proud of me.
I don't know if I should.
No, you really should.
Hey, I have new glasses.
I see. Let me see. No, real talk. Let me see.
So I think I have an addiction.
Let me see. I can't. These don't fit right with my hat.
No, but they actually look really nice on you.
I don't know. I can't see.
Well, my prescription is really strong.
I can't see.
I have to tell you though, I think I have an addiction.
Of what?
Do you know how many beds of these are in the house?
Oh, I mean that's your thing, and you need to see it. It's not.
Well, I guess my thing is if I have to wear them, I want to look good. So.
What's going on? What you?
You did okay. You just.
No, you did look good.
This is like whoa.
No. Because my thought was already somewhere else. I'm trying to be, try to be a couple steps ahead. You know what I mean? So I'm never stuck. You feel me? Trying to be a couple steps ahead. So I am never stuck. But
listen, tonight. Oh my God. We have first of all, thank you, God, for blessing us. Because so many blessings have come to us. Crystal's graduation.
She look amazing.
Thank you. Just our next 2 months.
She looked amazing.
Thank you. Our next 2 months is crazy. Blessed and highly favored. I really can't wait till we can actually announce what's happening next weekend. So I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Right.
I know.
I talked to
the host. Are you excited?
I talked to the host.
Who's the host?
Today, hosted. The host. There's a host couple, right?
A host couple?
Yeah.
What you talking about?
I talked to the host couple. One half of the host couple.
One half of the host. What half? What host couple?
Okay. All right.
Wait a minute. Pause. What we? Oh. That's that blonde. See, I was gonna get my hair dyed, but anyway. So, you talked to one half of them. Awesome. So, so many great things happen. Of course, October, Love Business on Lock Couples Retreat, Phoenix, Arizona. Everybody, we've now changed it so it's not just couples, it's couples and singles because what we know is people need to be prepared to be in a relationship. It's
work.
Yeah, it's work. It's work and patience.
And that's not a slight.
So,
that's because you work. And
I work hard.
Yeah, I get it.
I work hard. You and never. I am not the easiest guy. But you know what? And that's the exact reason why we have Jackie Flemming with us tonight. I'm not sure what is happening. Something odd is happening.
I thought
Miss Jackie.
I ain't gonna lie. All right, there you go.
There you go. Isn't she beautiful?
I ain't gonna lie. I thought when I lit my torch,
beautiful.
When I lit my torch, the screen started doing something crazy. I thought maybe it was the torch or something from the torch or whatever the case may be. But you're here, Jackie. How you doing?
Great. Thank you for having me tonight. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of rambling right now.
Who was? I wasn't rambling.
Me and you.
That wasn't rambling.
We were. I mean, I went from your cleavage.
Well, she didn't need to know.
You should be happy to, our amazing guest.
I know. Look how beautiful she is.
We had a whole bunch of conversations. Then we went to how beautiful you are, Jackie. We had a whole bunch of conversations. You know what I'm saying, in the intro. But how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing tonight. After a long day of working and here with the kids now. So had an amazing day. Can't complain.
Right.
We on this side, so we can't complain.
Right. I overstand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, Jackie, let me ask you a question, right? and this has nothing to do with nothing.
Oh no,
I'm
really, afraid.
I really like your
Be
hat,
afraid.
right?
I love it.
How long have you been wearing those hats? You've been wearing them for a minute. Am I correct?
No, actually, when I opened up the store, I just went shopping for inventory.
Okay, all right.
Fill up the store, and they were just sitting in the store, and it was like my first week of being open, and I just put it on my head, and I said, y'all come to the store, see me, and it sold out. So
nice.
It's like on back order for a lot of hats, but we still have a few left. But they were selling like crazy, and I didn't know, like, people was coming in the store buying like tons of them, and I'm like, a hat. Right. So I was like, well, listen, I'm gonna wear it then if y'all like it.
Right. And that's why I asked, because I know a lot of now it seemed like everybody's wearing the hat now. It's like people are searching for hats now. You know what I'm saying? Like, hats have became the big thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm watching everybody, kind of wear the hat. They wearing their suits or whatever the case may be. So
people are trying to be adults. I get it.
I get it. No, I get it. What?
Nothing. I was just saying, let them live.
Okay. All right. All right. So you have the floor, Miss Vaughn.
So Miss Jackie. So Miss Jackie has an amazing store in Atlanta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Our favorite place in the entire world. Plus, she's just a business mogul, and she shares that with her husband.
Okay. Right.
They have a whole ministry. Everything. So
Jackie, where's your husband?
My husband is actually preaching Bible study.
Okay, good. Okay. No reason, because I thought she was gonna have him on here. That's all.
I never said that.
No, I know you didn't say that. I know. And it was just Jackie. I know.
Only has Jackie.
I know.
You're making us look bad. You're making us look like we don't communicate.
No, it's just it's me and you, and because they do Love and Business online, I was hoping that he might have showed up.
Well, just like earlier today, you had to be one place and I had to be the other.
That is true.
Jackie, how does that work?
Well, when we have to do separate things at different times.
Yes.
At first, things wasn't busy for us. So, we were like rooting each other on, and then next thing you know, his schedule picked up, my schedule picked up. And then now it's like we have to pick and choose whether we can do it together or do it separately or, stuff like that. So the reason I said earlier I'm not complaining is because I remember a time nobody called on us or, a few people. And now that a lot of people do call on you, you'll complain. And then the next minute you'll be complaining again, like, oh, Lord, won't somebody want to, so, the Bible says to whom much is given, much is required. So there's no complaints over here. I do know how to take a break or here and there and rest up. But yeah, he's actually teaching Bible study.
Okay, good.
At the church, but it's virtual, the same thing. So he's virtual and I'm virtual.
Right.
So that's what I was going to ask you. You kind of alluded to it. What makes you take a break? Or how important is it to take a break?
Well, there's a saying that says that you can't pour from an empty, glass. And, one thing I've learned is I've always wanted the Lord to use me, whether it was being a mother or being in business or ministry. I always, wanted to do his purpose. But I found out you can be so hungry, trying to do purpose, business, being a boss or being this, being a minister, doing that, or out there doing amazing things. But if you don't have anything worth saying, people are going to be like, okay.
Right.
And so I found out that it's not about being busy. It's about being productive. And so I kind of took a seat for a while and I started going to trainings, reading books. And I was like, you know what, next time I open my mouth, I want something, I want to speak like an expert. And so you can't be an expert if you're always busy. you have to make time. And so I've found out that, you know, those downtimes are where you kind of level up. And so that's the importance of my taking breaks, because it gives me the time to regroup. It gives me the time to, like you said, I can't pour if I'm empty, and I need to be filled back up. And so you have to take those breaks so you can fill back up in every area of your life. You know, I have 3 kids, and I have a husband, and now we got 2 dogs. You know? So, you know, sometimes I'm like, Lord, I need a break. And then when I finally take a break, guess what I'm doing half of the time on vacation? How's the kids? How's everything going?
Right.
Why? Because it's really that I don't really need a break from them. It's just, you just really needed to just kind of get a little, just regroup. So
reset.
yeah,
You needed to reset for a second.
That's the key word, reset.
Right.
How important is it for you guys to pour into each other and take a break and make that dedicated time for you?
Well, you know what? Like I said earlier, with the busyness, you know, if you don't make time, you know, stuff will start dying, and it will stop producing. And so it is very important that, you know, we take time away from the children, take time away from even the businesses, ministry, which is something that we do mostly more than anything. It is very important to pull away and rekindle the fire that we have. And sometimes, you know, it's good to like go on a date night, or if you don't have the finances for someone who's watching, because there were times we didn't have the finances in our lives, you know, we would just get in the car and drive around the city of Atlanta and look at the beautiful buildings and just the beautiful scenery. And it was so funny, you know, it was like our date nights was just driving down the city of Atlanta, downtown Atlanta, just looking at the beautiful city. And we were always we would say, well, wow, one day we'll be able to get a, you know, staycation in Atlanta, or, everything doesn't have to be money, but as long as you are there with each other, that's what matters the most.
You know, I know something that happens with us, something that happens with us a lot. Hey, you know what? We're not going to do any work. You know, we're going to go to dinner. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk a little trash to each other. We're going to have some laughs. We're going to do some things. We're going to have something to eat. We're going to have a drink. We're going to enjoy each other's company. The day goes on. The evening goes on. Calls start to come in. And we see people, and then the light bulb goes over top of one of our heads, or somebody gets an idea. The time that we had not to work ended up in some kind of way, shape, form, fashion becoming work. You know, now and for me,
I promise you, I was about to put you on blast.
No. But for me, we've talked about that. I'm saying that at the end of the day, we do what we love as a business, as a career. We do what we love, and we do what we love with each other. You dig what I'm saying? So
with each other.
For me, I'm like, hey,
for him,
we good.
For
you know what I'm saying? Now, then when we get back home, hey, listen, I really didn't want to work. And you know, this was supposed to be about us, and it turned into work.
Because I feel like all we do is work, you know. Because we have, as you and Pastor Flemming have several businesses, we also have several businesses, you know, and like sometimes I want to allocate time just for us, because what I do know is that when we are in our home state, there is no time for us. And so when we can get that time, I want to allocate that time for us. But, you know, Officer Friendly here will invite Lottie Dottie and everybody.
Do not do that. Do not do that. That's not right. Do not do that.
And so sometimes I'm just like, I need you to pour into me. I don't want, I love people, but I need you to pour into me because I need that, and I want to silence the world. I'm sorry if I'm wrong for it, then I'm just
so before you rebuttal.
Oh me?
No, Jackie. Before you rebuttal, you said a statement, and it went like, "Too much is given. If something like
what is required."
Boy, this the person who want to be a pastor.
Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, I appreciate it. And that's what I tried to say. I'm like, listen, it's our responsibility to help
But she also said you can't pour out of an empty cup.
Okay, you was empty.
I'm still empty.
Good to the last drop. Folgers. So no, I really wanted to find that out. Like, how does that happen with you guys? And if it does, how do you guys maneuver around it where you take time for yourself and then work happens, or somebody from the congregation calls and needs some help, or I'm not sure what you do. So that's what I wanted to figure out, like, how do you move with that?
Well, we only let people see what we want them to see on social media, because I say a quote, if the walls could talk, you would notice that you would see that what you think is really happening isn't really happening, because like you just said, you're working and you want to spend quality time, but you end up still working. That's called reality. Like tonight, my husband is doing ministry, and I am home with the kids right now, because it was, the schedules and all that good stuff. And so you may not see, that all the time, where you get to see, couples, actually, actually this fairy tale life. The reality is you got, life, and life happens. And even though you want to do this and X, Y, and Z, some things pop up and happen, which, hinder those things. So sometimes, and one thing I've learned in relationships is, like you said, to whom much is given, much is required. You got to think about when you first started. Some people, they had a different start, and then when you end up growing, most people only know how to function from the beginning. But then when you start growing, many people haven't been developed in that area of growth. And so, like you said, you still got to work. Why? If you don't work, the bills don't get paid. And then some people, their livelihood increase. And so if you take too many breaks, like the Bible talks about the ant. The ant is working while people are playing.
Right.
And so you got to understand that if you want to maintain that lifestyle, you have to continue to do some things that you don't want to do. And that means being creative in your relationship, meaning you may have to still go to work and then be like, look, I'm bringing some chocolates and I'm going to sit right here with you.
Right.
Because like my husband, many people don't get to see it. He's a publisher. He's constantly writing books. And so sometimes I'm like, look, put that computer down. And he's like, her deadline is tonight.
Right.
The deadline is this week. And so I can't be selfish and saying, look, I want some me time. I have to literally understand, if he don't get that done, that's gonna mess his name up, gonna mess up the publishing company. Then and if God is sending resources our way, we done mess that up because we want to play all the time.
No,
I apologize. I'm sorry.
And I sparked a cigar and it sent on the coffee spray, and I feel bad because she's with me all the time when I have a cigar, and I feel bad. But I think that I had to respect what she was saying. I just know that even like this podcast has been a blessing because it's helped people. We've had amazing guests on this podcast, such as yourself, that give us food. I mean, our guests have given us food, and I know that our guest has given the people that watch the podcast a lot of food. So I don't know. I've just been used to it. A lot of times when I want to take a break, it's just hard to take a break because we always got to be on. Unfortunately, we always got to be on.
But you be creative. You just be creative, and that time will come. When you put in and labor, that time will come where you'll be able to, when my husband and I was opening up the building, we were newbies, and we hired this guy to come in, and he was putting up signs, and he said, I've been in this for 20 some years like that, and he said, y'all gonna see it when you open up. He said, I don't know when the last time I went on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking like, and he's been doing this for years, and now his son is working, and and you hear other people's stories, like the sacrifice of some things. So it's being creative, and enjoying each other's presence. But you will get rewarded to do some other things, but it's like a goal that you're after. It's a goal.
Right. And I don't want it to look like I'm being selfish, because I don't think,
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm sorry.
No.
Because I don't think that that's what it is. I think for me, how can we pour into others who come to talk to us if my cup is empty? You know, so it's hard for me to encourage someone, or say, well, maybe you should try to do this, when if I look in the mirror, I'm not seeing the same thing, and it's not, we travel a lot. So taking a vacation, is adding a day here, or, in the back end or in the front end. So we're creative that way. But, it's those, what I think about is those moments. Like, what I always ask myself, what moments do I want to create with Jay? And it's those moments that I don't necessarily think that we're creating, because we're so busy pouring here, and here. And, as we spoke off camera earlier, I grew up as a PK, my dad's been a pastor for 60 plus years, and so we both, come from a 2-parent home. And what I watched is that when my balance, exactly, Sonia, what I watched is that when my dad had nothing else to pour, my mother would balance that out, and so that's just, my thought process. Like, we have to do better with that. It has to be a balance of, we can't give what we don't have.
Yeah. And you get 24 hours in a day. And a lot of people say, I don't have time. But the thing is, you have the same amount of time I have, and I have the same amount of time you have. It's just priorities, and it's making time. And so, you have the mornings, you have the noon, you have the night. And these are times you can push in. One of the things my husband, I would get up and leave and go walking in the morning, but he wanted to go walking too, so I saw that was his love language, that it wasn't about me just, he just wanted that time in, and it was me, like, I would just rush and go walking, because I knew, bam, if I don't rush this, because his time schedule is different from my time schedule.
Right.
You know, I'm a morning person. He's probably like right behind me. You know, I'm already up, and he's kind of just peeking up, you know, and I'm like, I got to go ahead and get it done. And he was like, well, why you didn't wait for me? And I'm like, okay, because I got to do this and this and that, this and that, and the kids, and then this and that and that and that, you know. And so, you know, I found out. And so we started, I started waiting on him, even though it was a little later than my time. I waited on him, and we was walking together. Then we started riding bikes together. So those little love languages, and that time we got in, but it kind of stopped when the weather changed. So I saw that was a little time we got in too from the busyness, because you know you got to get some kind of time in.
Right. Well, I mean, it basically, you know, you sacrifice to make sure that you could spend some time, you know, with your other half. And, you know, a lot of times that's what we have to do. We have to sacrifice. You know, we got to sacrifice for each other. You know, some things we just got to do to make sure that the other person is happy. Sometimes it's really not about, you know, it's not about us sometimes, you know, and, you know, I always want her to be happy, you know. That's what I'm here for. If I'm not doing that, then there's an issue. You know what I'm saying? There's an issue. But and what I know is we kind of think, you know, our thought processes are the way we set up and the way our wheelhouses are a tad bit different. Like, I'm gonna just go to the wheels fall off, and she's like, hey, you need to slow down. We need some time. I'm watching you do X, Y, Z. Do you need me to help? And, you know, just the fact that she sees it is great. I just feel like I'm supposed to have it, but it's just as long as she's offering and she sees it, you know what I'm saying? I'm good with it. You know, I'm good with it, because that's what it is. It's about supporting each other.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It really is about supporting each other. I wanted to touch on the subject, but I don't want to touch on this subject anymore. I feel like we had a conversation last week about you know, COVID and the shot and that sort of thing, and we kind of came to an agreement that it's almost like if you're sitting at a bar or you're sitting in a barbershop with a hairdresser, a couple of things is usually off limits is usually religion and politics. And I'm starting to see that now that, you know, this vaccine is starting to be in that group as well. You know what I mean? Because you know, some people are pro-vaccine, some people are anti-vaccine, and they really are strong at their beliefs. You know what I'm saying? So if you watch the podcast, you do know that we have not taken the shot, but I'm not mad at anybody for taking it. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has their own opinion. I just didn't want to be a guinea pig. You know what I mean? Like, me personally, you know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts?
My thought is that one way or another, I feel as though that even though we have not, we will have to. Case in point, you know, you're in radio, I'm in television, and BET Awards is coming up. So if we want to sit in the audience, we have to get vaccinated. And then making
I don't think. I mean, if they see a lot of people push back from it, it may not be so mandatory, because some of them are doing it to force people.
So that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. So kind of will, you know, kind of just, you know, stand your ground. And I love what you all said earlier. You know, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Right.
You know, and I'm so glad that you all stood for something, you know, because, you know, and I mean, I'm a minister at heart, so I have to use the Bible, but, when that's why people fought with Jesus, because he didn't follow the religious people's rules. He came and broke those rules. He hung out with people that they didn't like, and so we're not called to be followers. We're called to be leaders, and leaders of the right thing. But you have a consciousness, and for you to say that, I celebrate you. Many people may look at us and say, you're evil or whatever, or you should be doing this and that, but I didn't take it either.
Right.
And I'm a minister,
Right.
But the thing about it is not that I'm being rebellion. It's just there are some things called, something in the milk ain't clean.
Exactly.
Or it should be something called discernment, where I don't have to do this because they're forcing me.
Exactly.
I do believe if we just really boost our immune system, and I did that before 2020 came. Our family just started boosting our immune system, and we didn't catch COVID. Nobody I know catch COVID. And I know some people that was real sick, like some family members that was real sick, and I just kept speaking like faith over them, like you're not going to catch it. And I know a lot of people who are Christians did catch it, and I'm not saying that it's evil, and sometimes it's not the devil and it's not God. I think it's just science,
Exactly.
And they in there playing around with all this stuff, and then our immune system, our immune systems can't fight. Some people immune, like I can't drink milk. Now, you always say I can eat ice cream. I can't. So that's the kind of the same thing with the this vaccine. Some people bodies can handle whatever this thing they mixing up in it.
Right. And put it right.
I met a girl this Saturday. I was at this women event, and she told me she got the shot. And I said, well, did you get sick? And she said, no, I was fine. Then I met another girl the other week, and she said she got it, and she said she was sick as a dog.
Right.
So what I will say is this, so that we can move past it, is that so I have 3 kids of my own as well, 23, 22, and 15. And I remember way before COVID when my 23 and 22-year-old were little. Took them to the pediatrician, and my parents was like, make sure you get them the flu shot. I was like, I'm not getting them the flu shot. And I was like, well, let me talk to the doctor about it. So I said to the doctor, hey, I think the kids need the flu shot. They're in nursery school. He said, so you're going to shoot a virus back into your kid's body who will naturally build up their immune system without it, so that you can prove what? And I thought about that thing. I'm like, you're right. Like we as creatures, we naturally immune system by the things that we eat and how we structure ourselves and our family. So why am I doing this again? And so that's been my stance the whole entire time. Fast forward 20 years later, now boom, here we have COVID, and we have a vaccination, but we don't have a vaccination for HIV or for AIDS. I don't really understand how you do that in less than a year, but hey, whatever. I'm not a scientist. I am who I am. And then when I went to my doctor was like, so you cannot get the shot. And I was like, well, why? She was like, you have lupus. You have an autoimmune disease. She said, how many individuals with autoimmune disease have been tested with these vaccinations? She said, don't put that in your system.
Right. You
don't have to tell me anything else. I'm good.
Right. Right.
And I believe in a God that I feel like when it's my time, it's my time. And, God's will is going to be God's will, with or without the shot. If it's my time, I'm going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
But to your point real quick, it's about being healthy. And even if, you get it, I think that if you're healthy, you get it and bounce back with no problem. You know what I mean? So it's about us being healthy, eating right, plenty of water, exercise, that sort of thing. And we can bounce back, that's just That's just my take on it.
I never got the flu shot.
Me neither.
Yeah, me neither.
They always told me my kids never got it. Now we did catch the flu one time, and we didn't know what that was. We thought it was just a bad cough, and but we was sick for a whole week. And normally when we get sick, it's like 3 days and we're better. But this time it was lingering and going on 7 days. And that's when we rushed ourselves to the hospital. And about time we got to the hospital, the doctor was like, it's nothing we can do now. You got to let it fight its course.
Right.
And that was a horrible cough. And so that was torture what we was going through. It started with my son. He brought it from school, my elementary son. And I just prayed. And I'm telling you, I just prayed and I said, God, what we just had, I don't want to experience that no more.
Right.
What should I do? And the spirit of discernment, I asked him to lead me, and I went to this herb shop or whatever, and this lady said, I said, I need something to build my immune system. And she looked over at that me and she said, that bottle right there is going to be your flu shot. I said, what is this? She said, black seed oil. She said, I kid you not. She said, take the black seed oil. She told me to take the cod liver oil, omega 3s, vitamins. And so we was on this journey of just bettering our health. All 5 of us in this home was taking it every day.
Right.
Mind you, I think it was going on 4 years. We didn't get no stomach bug. We didn't get the flu. I mean, it was like a miracle hit our house. And I was like, what in the world is black seed oil doing? Right. And I heard it eliminates mucus and it's nasty. And then right after that, COVID came.
Right.
COVID came. And we had already had the vitamin D's and all that stuff that we needed. And so while everybody else was saying that their immune system, but we had already boosted ours. Right. And so I'm not trying to be rude, but I was walking around with no mask and I wasn't getting sick. Right. And people was like, well, maybe you giving it to somebody. I said, no. I mean, a lot of this stuff, just some people can put stuff on you, like you said, if you don't know the truth.
Right. Right. Yeah, we weren't taking it. We hadn't planned on taking it. I've had the flu once in my life, and
once,
and I think that I've had COVID once in my life, because
he had COVID.
I made her sick, and that was from me being out at the club and
DJ, because he's a DJ.
And 5 days later, I was back. Like I was back, like I never left. And I went through it, and no taste and shivers and weak and fever and no taste. I went through it, and 4 days later, I'm coming back. What took the longest was my taste, and that's what was the longest. And I just don't know what they.
So was it the same feeling as the flu?
No, it wasn't. It was horrific to watch, and it was horrific to have. I had never had the flu ever in my life. And so to go from maybe having a cold once, to I couldn't move. I felt like my body didn't exist. And he had the shivers. It is something that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, Wow. However, we are healthy people. We, eat right. We do all of the things that we need to do. So, once we got through that first stage of it, we were good, but we had to go through it. And for me, I felt as though that we went through it because we learned lessons. Like, I'm big on energy, and I'm big on passing energy. And I believe that anything that has access to you coming inside of you is a gateway of energy. So I believe that if you shake somebody's hand, you're passing energy. I believe that the things that you look at on social media that energy from that person is coming into you. I believe that if you hug a person, you're passing energy. And I had been on him about, you got to stop hugging people, because you got to stop it,
So you're talking about transference of spirits.
Yes. Like, you don't know what that person's been through, what their day's been through them, or if, like, because he is a DJ, if you're speaking to like a hostess or somebody, at the venue that you're at, you don't know how many other people they've hugged, and they're transferring that to them, to you, and then you bringing it to me. No, on Mary and Joseph, I'm not into that. Nah, we good.
Yeah, I caught it. I got in trouble for that. But when she got better, it took a second, but once she got better, I heard that. It's like, yo, stop hugging people.
Yeah. And like you said, is the matter of it is boosting your immune system, because there's so much out here that you can catch. Not just COVID, it's so much out there. But people are still dying from colon cancer, liver cancer, it's a lot out here still in this world. But we have to, like you said, make it our point to drink our water, make it our point to just get that blood flowing, walking or doing something, and taking, if you're not going to eat vegetables, you got to take supplements. That's something I've learned. Like, okay, y'all, we haven't eaten no vegetables, so we need to take some supplements. And my kids hate it. That stuff tastes nasty, but this is going to replenish us because we just been on the go. So, if you're not eating your fruits and vegetables, and I heard that they're not like it was in the old days, so you got to get some of that stuff to get your body going. So yeah,
absolutely. And we got to walk away from a lot of that fast food. Fast food will kill you fast. That's what it is, fast food. Jackie, tell us about your business and what you guys have going on.
Okay, so we just opened up 2 businesses in one. Is one building with 2 businesses, and my side is Jackie's Collection, which you can see a little bit.
Right. I see.
Yeah, so it's Jackie's Collection, and I had an online boutique for years, and my husband side of the building is called T&J Publishers, and it is a publishing company. And so really the publishing company is the bigger side, and then it's like a small little boutique on the other side where you get to come and experience my collection. So I have a clothing. So we actually took everything. My husband was online for years. He did publish hundreds of books online, and I did it online as well, clothing. And we got a spot during the pandemic. That was the amazing thing about the whole thing, was able to still do business in a pandemic.
So would you say that during the pandemic, did your business get stronger, or was it like just evened out?
Well, I'll say it got stronger because during, and then there are other things that I do.
Okay.
So I have online courses, I'm a speaker, I do conferences, I'm an author, I have several books. So during the pandemic, people was buying books like crazy. There were courses like crazy because they were shut in.
Right.
People still having like virtual birthday parties, which they were still ordering clothes online. And because guess what? It was virtual, so you still had to have something on.
Right.
Mine's increased, and I can't take the credit as if it was me. It was God.
Gotcha.
I mean, I am a praying woman. Like, I pray 5 o'clock in the morning. I get up 4 o'clock and I pray every morning. And I seek the Lord. I read. I ask him for help. I ask him to help me. Right. And I ask him to lead, like when I just got back in town from preaching, And I got an email saying that not a notification on my news line said that Georgia don't have any gas.
Yeah.
And so you know, my car takes premium and I'm driving everywhere and there's no gas.
Trust me, we know.
Right. We definitely saw that.
Trust me, we know.
And listen, I prayed. I sat at that gas station. I said, listen, I'm not going to drive around all over this place looking for gas. And I got God.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Holy Spirit, show me where the gas is. People may call it magic. They may call it voodoo or whatever, but that's not what that is. That's evil.
Right.
I have the leading of God, and anybody can have it if they seek him. And so I asked him to show me. And guess what he did? He said, go down this street right there. I went down that street and it was premium in there.
Yeah, premium, right.
I filled up my tank, and guess what? There was no line.
Right.
You know, people don't realize the power of prayer. And I talk about it a lot. When I talk about our relationship, I talk about the power of prayer. I talk about how when there have been times that we may not see eye to eye, I will go and start praying. We can be in a car together. And if, you know, I'll just start praying, you know, nothing out loud out, you know, people don't understand the power of prayer. And what I will say is, and it's crazy because I feel like we've talked about this a lot, you know, recently. I feel like I've said this portion about it a lot, but I remember having a conversation with my dad, and I told you my dad's a pastor. Jay and I come from the same town. And what we found out 40 years later, you know, was that my dad was the pastor that christened Jay. One day, my dad was having a conversation with me, and he said, you know, you guys are going to be all right. I said, why you say that? He said, I prayed for him. And then he hung the phone up. So I decided, you know, I wanted to go back and like really deal with that, but not right away, you know. So recently, he hadn't been necessarily, he'd been under the weather, and I was having a conversation with him, and he said, I feel good. I said, why? He said, I prayed for him. He said, I prayed for him. He said, so I know that that's the man that God had for you. You just had to find him. You know, and it was simple as that. And people don't understand how powerful prayer can be if you pray for the right things.
Yeah.
You know, you can't be give me, because that's not the God that we serve.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it was nobody but God that did all of that through the pandemic for us. And he's still, like, you know, I want to say that I don't want people to, you know, as they're listening, say, oh, everything just falling in her lap. No, there's some days we get up, we don't know how things going to happen.
Right.
But that's the power of prayer. Like you said, it's not because somebody asked me, what's the point of praying when God has already done it? What's the point of praying when God has already done it? So you can rely on him.
Right.
I don't rely on myself.
Right.
He will use us, but I rely on him because he created us. He's doing all this stuff. And so I found out not to worship the things God created and start worshiping him.
Absolutely.
He created all this stuff. So he has helped us in a pandemic, and I rely on him daily. So I wouldn't be here on this platform with you if it wasn't because of him. So he gets all the glory, and I'm going to get up tomorrow, and I'm gonna seek him again and say, help me again for this day.
You know, we talk a lot about what during the pandemic you were able. I felt like the pandemic happened on, like, it happened. Nothing happens just by chance. Everything was supposed to happen. It falls how it's supposed to fall, because one, he needed to slow us down. One, two, I feel like he wanted to really show us some things. At the end of the thing, we talked about it. It's funny. We were driving up 85, and we were talking to a friend of ours, and I said, you learned some things during the pandemic. While there was no work, it was no going out, it was no fun, it was stay in the house, it was go to the grocery store, come back home. And you spent time with folks that you don't normally spend that type of time with. Like you're moving, you're going, handling your business, you out, your significant other's moving, your kids in school, all of these things. And then now everything is shut down. Everything is shut down, and you have to be around your family 24/7. So now you learn some things about your significant other. Things that, you might have been around them a few hours. Now you're around them 24/7. Now you're around the kids 24/7. Now you find out what that teacher was talking to you about, that you said, not little Johnny. Little Johnny can't. He can't. That's my kid. Little Johnny, no. You see what little Johnny is doing now, right? There was a lot of lessons in that. Now if you really love and get along with the person that you are with. You see what I'm saying? Like, because now you can see, okay, I might not like what she's doing, or I might love what she's doing. The blessing, I feel like we became stronger. We learned some lessons in the pandemic, and I feel like business-wise, I feel like relationship-wise, we became stronger because we were able to find out some things about each other, while we were shut in. And I think it was a blessing, because you found, even if that person ain't the person for you, you needed to find that out.
Mm-hmm.
And you being around that person 24/7 showed your tale what it really is. You know what I mean? Like, and there was some progress because it slowed you down and gave you an opportunity to really, like you said, open up the business. You see what I'm saying? Like, you were able, your business grew in the pandemic because you had a chance to slow down and focus.
Yeah.
I mean, so it wasn't a bad thing. I'm tired of this pandemic. No, it is, you had to really lock in, and you were able to really go for some things that you might not have been able to go for, you know what I'm saying, before you had a chance to slow down.
Because before the pandemic, that was nowhere across our mind.
Right.
I think if the pandemic never came, we probably would have still be doing online.
Right.
But like you said, I don't know why it took a drought or a desert or the wilderness for us to see so many blessings of God. But I think it had to happen so it can show others that God can still move in one of the worst seasons or one of the worst times in America, that he's still moving. But it's hope for other people to know that, man, if I doubt God, let me go back to believing God, because he's still working.
Right.
Because like I said, I put my pants on the way y'all put your pants on, or the way somebody's watching, somebody's watching, they're like, oh, she's perfect. No, I put my shoes on the way you put your shoes on.
Right.
But it's just to show that God is still good, and he's able to do anything. Allow him in.
Right. It's funny too, because like while I'm out, people, Jay, how you doing? I say, I'm blessed. And I think sometimes it catches them off guard, and that's not. Sometimes the response is, I think they feel like I'm actually like bragging. I'm not. I'm just saying I am bragging, saying that I am blessed at life. I'm not saying that I'm better than you.
No.
You ask me, I'm blessed. I mean, regardless of if I'm on top of the mountain or I'm in the valley, I'm blessed, because the lessons come in the valley anyway. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. That's where our growth has came. Your growth comes in the valley. While you're going through whatever you're going through, that's where the growth comes in at, because it is to make you strong. It is to show you a lesson, whatever lesson you were supposed to get and you might not have gotten yet. This is the reason why you're going through it. And it doesn't. Pain is temporary.
Yeah.
Pain is temporary. You know what I'm saying? Pain is temporary. So even in the valley, I'm good. Like I'm always good. I'm never going to say we not good or I'm upset or whatever, because the lessons come. My growth came from being in the valley.
Wow, that's powerful.
Right.
There are lessons in the valley. Your growth comes in the valley, and that for somebody that's feeling like giving up, but you in the valley right now, like you said, someone just posted said pass the test.
Right.
Get the lessons, because it's all about getting what you need to learn from it.
Right.
So you can become a better person.
Right.
You know, if God was always like, that's why I said, you know, even though we opened up a business in the pandemic, but there are so many other bad things I saw. But people only share what they want you to hear.
Right.
And so, you know, some of all the stuff that has happened to us, you know, we want everything. Imagine if God was just only doing, you know, just I only highlighted only the good things, and
Right.
not tell you the bad things that happen. And some of them I thought that was bad to me, but it was actually working together for my good.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of stuff I thought that, you know, man, why this happened? Why that happened? Or why this had to happen? But when I counted all joy, or when I, like you said, learned those lessons, like, you know what? I got some lemons thrown my way, but you know what? I'm going to turn this sour situation into some lemonade. Let me go add some sugar to it.
Right.
And that makes, like you said, you know, you call it, you know, these energy, you know, but it just makes all of that evil around me just get upset. Like, that didn't knock her day. She's smiling even though it's still raining on her parade.
Right.
But like you said, you get up and say, I'm still blessed. And people won't even understand it.
And we talk all the time. We talk about the mountain and the valley. It's easy for you to be around me while I'm on top of the mountain. When I'm winning and everything is good, who don't want to be around that? You know what I'm saying? That's you know, that doesn't prove anything. What the test, and you know, what shows what type of person somebody is the ones that are with you while you going through it, while you in the valley, while you learning the lessons, while you fell forward, while you down. That's the person that you like, okay, they stood 10 toes down. You know, they really with me, because on the mountain, everybody, if Jackie's good, celebrating, the money's good, he winning, everything is good. Why wouldn't I want to be around that? And who you know, everybody loved the winner.
That's right.
You know, everybody loved the winner. It's the test and the testament come, you know, in the valley. You know what I'm saying? That's where it comes in at, you know. And you know, it took me a while to learn something. It took me a while to learn that as well, you know. It's funny, like I was talking to my dad today and he said, you know, you live and you learn. And I was like, I've heard this phrase, this cliche forever, but for whatever reason today it just made so much more sense. As we go on, that's what I'm learning as I'm going.
Yeah,
you know, and my partner had to really break some things down for me as well. You know, business that we're starting, and I made some mistakes, and I made some wrong choices, and I messed some money up, and I was really beating myself up. And she said, "Listen, how long you been DJing?" And I said, pretty much all my life since I was a little kid. She was like, "You're pretty good at it, right?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "How long you been doing this business?" I said, "This is new. You know, this is new." She said, "You're going to have these mistakes." You know what I mean? Like, you know, strap up, keep going. And I needed that, because that sounded like what I would say to her anyway.
Yeah.
You know, that sounded like what I would say to her. I know I've been talking talking a hole in everybody.
Mm-hmm.
What you got? Okay. All right. I've been talking. I feel like I've been talking a hole in both of y'all heads. So I apologize. Jackie, let me ask you a question. We getting, we've been on for an hour, and it's just been great conversation. So the hours flew past. What do you want everybody to know about Jackie Flemming? Her businesses, her family, her thought process, whatever you have going on. This is your shameless plug. Like, I need you to, brag and beat on your chest about what you have going on and how everybody can follow what you have going on. This is your opportunity.
Awesome. So once again, I want to thank you all for having me on your show. So honored to be able to share to your audience today what I'm doing for such a time as this. And so my name is Jackie Flemming. My website is for speaking, author, books or anything like that is www.jackieflemming.com. But for my business side, we separated for, the clothing, the boutique side is Jackie's Collection.com. Jackie's with an S, collection.com. And that's where you can find me. And I'm all on all social media platforms. I'm on Facebook, Jackie Flemming, Instagram, Jackie Flemming 1. I'm on Clubhouse, Jackie Flemming, and then I'm on YouTube, Jackie Flemming. So there are so many available spots that you can find me. Stay connected. So thank you so much for having me on.
All right, and we really appreciate you for being on. You mentioned the platform, and I wanted to ask your opinion about the platform before you got off. What do you really think about Clubhouse?
When I first got, someone introduced me to it, and I said no because I already had so many social media platforms.
Right.
And I just didn't feel like learning and building a whole new platform. But the person that mentioned it to me, it was ministry. So I said, okay, I'll get on. But when I did get on, it was a little busy for me. And everybody was a star.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's a guru.
Everybody was somebody great. And everybody was sharing how they did great things. And to the point where you couldn't tell who was really legit and who wasn't, because it was like by the time I got on there, they had so many followers.
Right.
So they, people who was authentic, like, oh, if the people on Clubhouse now, they the it. And then the people who was doing this for years, you don't even know who they are no more. And it's like a whole other world. And so I took a break from it again, and then I got back on. Right. But then I took a break again, but then I got back on, and I only kind of fellowship with people I really know. But it's a new little clubhouse, and people are making their own little world out on there.
Right. Yeah, I think that was my CaSay's experience was a little different. When I would listen and get in, everybody was the greatest. Everybody had this amazing career, and everybody was the greatest who ever did it. I don't want to talk. Let me end. Swipe up. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me end it. Let me swipe up.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to ask you that because I just wanted to find out your thoughts, because we have similar thoughts. It's rare. I don't talk on there at all. I really need to turn my notifications off, but that's another story. I just want to tell you, thank you so much for taking time out your day in the middle of the week with your family and all of that, and coming on our platform. We greatly appreciate you. We are super thankful for you. Continue winning, continue showing Black excellence, because that's part of why we do this as well, to highlight Black excellence. You know what I'm saying? Just, we love what, the people that we've had on this platform do, such as yourself. And, you giving back, and because that's what we're supposed to do anyway. We're supposed to give back. So thank you so much. And in closing, I always say, please, protect your circle, because, you tend to pick up the the thoughts and the things that the closest people to you end up doing. So you need to really watch and protect your circle. So with that being said, thank you so
see you on
much,
Friday,
Jackie, for being a part of us. We will see you Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And we're grateful. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Jackie, we need you to hold on just for a second so we can talk to you once we close out. Y'all take care. Enjoy the rest of your night.